What's up? Dr. Dupe, episode 76, Code in While Black. It's a Sunday morning here in Redmond, Washington. It's like 36 degrees. It's March 6th, 2022. I told y'all I'm going to continue to try to post more often, right? Maybe shorter, but more often, maybe more to the point. So something I want to talk about this morning very briefly is networking. And I may have talked about this in the past, I'm not sure, but I'm going to put a different spin on it even if I did. And when I say networking, I mean having a group of people that can help you and guide you and teach you and hip you to what goes on in the tech industry, make you aware of opportunities, school you or coach you on how to interact with folks, what to pay attention to, what not to pay attention to, how to get folks to validate your skill set and talk positively about you. That's something that I've noticed a lot recently, and that came up in my research. And you know, this idea of networking, or the way I like to say it, is support groups, right? Find a support group. Now, other groups have this. It's built into the culture for white folks, right? They have it automatically at work because it's mostly them there. And now we have these concepts of employee resource groups, which are supposed to serve that purpose, but I think a lot of times they get caught up in social stuff, right? I'm talking about a support group that can help you, mentor you, teach you, right? Something that I've noticed here recently that we don't do as black people that we need to start doing, and that's what I'm going to focus on, and that is highlighting or advocating for or hyping up other black folks that you work with. Now, not to say to go around saying things that aren't true. Don't say, you know, Kai's one of the best programmers that I've ever worked with. If I'm not, I'm not suggesting that. What I'm saying is, you work with black folks who are brilliant, but you don't go around other folks outside of the black community and talk about their brilliance. But you know for a fact that you work with people and they'll tell you such and such is very knowledgeable, such and such is very smart, such and such is what we need in leadership. And you're looking at such and such like, how are you saying all this stuff about this person? The person is good, they're not all that, right? I picked up on that recently. It's something that came through my research also, but I had not experienced that as much in my career. But today, recently, latter years, I'm definitely noticing that. And then I see that it works, right? I may hear 2 or 3 people mention a colleague in a positive light. And, you know, I look at that person and I'm not as impressed as they might be. And they're saying, I know that person is in a position of leadership, but that person is getting opportunities, right? And they're not necessarily warranted. So I'm not saying do that. But what I'm saying is, I know that I work with other black people, or have worked with other black people, and I know I'm good at what I do, whatever it was, whether it was programming, whether it was writing documentation, whether it was training, whether it was speaking, whether it was whatever it was, because I work hard at what I do, and I know that I'm not your average, right? But I can count the times on one hand where someone black or someone so-called minority has talked about me in a positive light, if at all. It certainly never got back to me, but I do it. I will, you know, have an opportunity presented to me, and I'll say, oh, this would be great for this person who's black, who's Latina, Latinx, who's female, who I know would do a good job, who I know no one else is suggesting. Okay, so that's what I'm talking about. Support groups, support each other, networking. This is something that came out of the research that's critical, that's crucial. And you can join an employee resource group, and they do some good things, right? But I usually don't join them at this stage in my career because for the most part, I think that they missed the mark. They do a lot of positive things. They do a lot of, but it's mostly social. It's mostly cultural, which is necessary. Don't get me wrong. And it does absolutely help you to feel more comfortable knowing there's a group of folks you can go to and talk to, etc. But for the most part, they're not going to be pushing the envelope, okay? So the takeaway from this particular video is speak positively Validate other black folk in your circles at work who you know are doing a good job and deserve opportunities to other folks. I'm not saying say positive things about black folks to other black folks. I'm saying say it to folks outside the black community. Say it to leadership. Say it to management. Say it to other folks who are your peers. Now, what I do see, I see plenty of black folk highlighting other folk who aren't black. I see that all the time. This person is great. That person is great. They never do that with other black people. Okay? That's my point. So have a good day. Happy Sunday. Coding While Black. Dr. Kai Dupe. Peace.